Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. Friends, it is November the 2nd, 2020, and today my topic is called This Is What Democracy Looks Like. But before we get into that, friends, let me just say first and foremost that I am so sorry. I apologize for missing the juice on Saturday. As you guys know, I had my movie screening on Friday evening, and it just was such a not a hectic day, but that evening was a little discombobulated and everything like that. And honestly, it's like I barely ate that day. It was so much going on that, like, by the time I got home, I was pooped. And then me and husband had a little time alone or whatever, because our little man went to go spend the night with his grandma. So we were talking, about the movie and about a lot of stuff. And so next thing I knew, it was time to do juice, and we were still talking. So I was like, hey husband, why don't we I did offer now. I did say, hey, why don't we, just talk as the juice? But he wasn't comfortable doing that or whatever, in regards, because I guess he felt like he wanted to be prepared whenever he goes live or whatever. So needless to say, we didn't end up doing that. And and then I was super tired, and then by the time we did finish talking, it just was late, and and everything. So I apologize for missing the juice. If you guys was looking for it, I apologize for that. But here I am. I'm back. It's Monday. I'm good. I'm cool and good. I put cool and good together. I'm good. And so also I just want to give a shout out to everyone that came. Thank you so much for coming to the shindig. I hope you guys had a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed the food by Bros Catering. I just hope you guys had a good time. I heard some, good feedback about the film, so thank you all so much for that. I want to give a shout out right now to, the people that was helping me get this thing together in regards to, when I got there. Like I said, I was all discombobulated and stuff like that. So all of those that lended a hand to assist me to get everything set up and stuff like that, I truly appreciate it. I just want to give a shout out to Maria. Unfortunately, I forgot your niece's name, but a shout out to Maria for hiring her niece that evening to do my makeup. So, if you saw glamorous pictures of me, that's why. Got my makeup done by Maria, gifted that to me. So thank you so much for that, Maria. She also helped me set up. I also want to give a shout out to Joanna, Alicia, and Tiffany for also helping me to set up that day as well. Because like I said, I was all over the place. So I appreciate you ladies for that. And each and every person that watched the film online as well. Like I know several of you, hit me up saying you watched it. I know you guys are in different areas and things like that. I want to say somebody in Colorado said they watched it. Somebody in North Carolina said they watched it. I think my homegirl, she's on the road, but I think she might be in Texas. So I know like a couple of people in Texas watched it. So thank you so much for watching the film. I truly appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've heard great feedback, so thank you so much for that. And of course, thank you for the opportunity. I cannot go without saying thank you to Osarnan. She truly blessed me with this opportunity to show what I could do as a performer and as an actor, or a little bit at least, and everything like that. So I'm truly thankful for the opportunity. I hear that there might be another Atlanta screening coming soon. So if so, I'll definitely let you all know. But so I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for everything. And I believe that the film festival is over as of yesterday. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get into another festival, or maybe we'll be doing another screening. I don't know. But just know that I have some things in the works as well. I'm excited about that. And just keep looking out for me. Because I got some things that I'm working on. And you never know, the next movie screening might be my own. But anyway, let's get into it, y'all. This is what democracy looks like. I think I just kind of was reminded this morning. Well, let me get into the Bible. Let me give y'all some Bible first, right? Here we go. So, we're going to start off with Judges 21 and 25. It says, in those days, there was no king in Israel. Everyone did what was right in his own eyes. So, what I was about to say is, I was just reminded of that and, asked myself, like, well, why did they want a king? Like, why did they want to be like the other nations when God set them apart and they didn't really necessarily need one? Because he was going to be that governing factor over them and everything like that. But instead, no, they wanted to lean to their own understanding, right? And be like all the other nations and have a king and all those things. So, but anywho, which is interesting because now here we are in this place and everything like that. And, here we are in the United States, or I don't know where you are, but let's particularly talk about the United States since, y'all know tomorrow's election day. Oh, Lord. Look, we gonna yet pray for election day. We're gonna see what happens. But regardless of what happens, y'all, at the end of the day, God is in control. You know what I'm saying? If you guys watched the episode of God, Sex, and Love that came out on Friday, then you guys may know a little bit of my voting history or my thoughts in regards to some things in regards to voting. I won't get into all of that, but I guess long story short, just saying that we in America, if you're watching me in America or if you're hearing me in America, that we are, I guess, a unique country in the fact that we are able to elect those that are in these governing positions, right? And of course, you had the opportunity to vote for whoever you want to vote for, right? Now, and we do, right? We do that. I guess the thing is, we've gotten to the place where we share that information of who we're voting for and all of that. Now, I see pluses and negatives to that. Obviously, we see more negatives than pluses, but I see that there's positive and negative effects that may have by sharing who you're voting for and everything like that. But I do remember a day when that was like none of your business who I'm voting for. Like, don't worry about that. Like I think I remember a time where that's how it was. However, that's not how it is now, right? And so as a democracy, we have so many, we have the option, right? Because, there are countries that don't have the option to pick who's in the leadership positions. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that we have here in America that's unique. And then because we have that ability, or that freedom, then, you're going to get different people have different opinions. And so, this person might line up with what this person believes, and this person might line up with what, this person believes. So at the end of the day, it's like, I think we should exercise our freedoms for sure. But if you're going to be a follower of Christ, I just put it like this. Yeah. The word tells us repeatedly to, use our freedoms wisely, and I'm sure it says in so many more eloquent ways than I just did, but that's basically what it says. Use our freedoms wisely. And so if we're Christians, we need to be electing officials that line up with our values, with, our belief system and things like that. Because if we don't, then you'll see the effects of that, you'll get people in positions that don't acknowledge Christ at all, and maybe you don't think that would affect you. I don't know how you don't think it would, especially if you put them in a leadership position where they can change laws and they can, create legislation or whatever the case is that directly affects you and your family. But hey, this is just something to think about. Like I said, this is what democracy looks like. It looks like a lot of different people with different values and different belief systems that are voting for individuals to represent them. Yes, but then ultimately govern them and, things like that. So it's a serious thing, I wouldn't take it lightly. So if you are going to vote, I would say, like, definitely pray about it, see what God wants you to do. Like, I wouldn't sit here and just be led by my own mind in this situation, because like I said, it not only affects you, but it affects the future, your future generations, your children, everything like that. So it's an important thing. But let's get back to the Bible, y'all. Let's, in case you don't, but speaking of that, here we go. Proverbs 4:27 says, "Do not swerve to the right or left. Turn your foot away from evil." If that ain't confirmation of what I just said, then I don't know what is. Like, yeah, so there's no way to even break that down anymore. Like, that, there you go. Like, don't swerve. Like, honestly, it probably would be best to be independent, right? Like, this is just me now. This is just me right here. I'm thinking, in a case of an American, I would probably just be independent, and then see who's, talking about upholding some of the values and things that I believe. Now, if it's this side, then okay, cool, we'll go this way this time. If it's that side the next time, then cool, we'll go that way that time. But, hey, according to the word of God, turn your foot away from evil, friends. Acts 5:29 says, "But Peter and the apostles answered, 'We must obey God rather than men.'" So there you go, friends. Regardless of who's in office or who's in positions and who's creating laws of the land, at the end of the day, we need to be obeying God rather than men. Now, it will behoove us, again, since we're in the position to vote, or we're in the position to appoint, then, it would behoove us to appoint and vote according to, our belief system. So then that way, whatever laws and things like that, hopefully, will be created that upholds that stuff. But if you're going to vote in the interest of the opposite or the opposing, then I guess the thing about that is you're going to be hit with some things that you may not necessarily agree with, or not necessarily, believe in. And when you're hit with those things, then it's like, okay, are you going to go with the flow? Are you going to do that? Or are you going to follow God? And now it's like you brought yourself to a crossroads when you really didn't need to be. In my humble opinion, you know what I'm saying? You have to be in the crossroads. Like, I feel like we are in a position as Americans we have a choice to decide. Like, I mean, we have a choice about everything, right? Because that's free will. But I'm saying in this particular situation, when it comes to voting, we have a choice to pick the candidates and pick the people and everything like that that's going to represent us and everything. So, again, it would behoove us to vote according to the word of God, especially if we're going to live a godly life and everything like that. Because if we don't, then that's going to it's going to affect us. It's going to affect us. And, so you're hearing that, you guys heard on the show, like, you hear so many differing opinions where you're like, especially those of Christians, and it's like, but how does that make sense with what the word of God says and how you're trying to live your life? Because if you allow these people to make these changes to America, or whatever the case is, then it's like, this only is going to, like, hurt us in the end, like, so but hey, you have free will, so I mean, by all means. Okay. But anywho, Deuteronomy 1:13 says, "Choose your tribes wise, understanding and experienced men, and I will appoint them on your heads," or as your heads. I will appoint them as your heads. There you go, friends. We need to be choosing wisely. But even in regards to choosing men, friends, here we go. Psalm 146:3 says, "Put not your trust in princes, in a son of man in whom there is no salvation." So there you go with that, friends. I mean, regardless, you can't really necessarily put our trust in men anyway. Isaiah 2:22 says, "Stop regarding men in whose nostrils is breath, For of what account is he? Again, just showing us who to put our faith and trust in. Because Jesus said himself here in John 19:11, he says, Jesus answered him, you would have no authority over me at all unless it had been given you from above. Therefore, he who delivered me over to you has the greater sin. Well, you know what? Now this gonna be a little side note, a little something. It might be a little deep this morning. I don't know if we ready for it. This might be the pulp this morning of the juice. But so this is one thing that I'm seeing lately, and it is interesting. It's interesting to observe. So as you guys know, I'm an African American woman. You know what I'm saying? Proud African American woman. And so it's just an observation I'm making in our community. It's an observation that I'm making of things that are happening in our community. And one of those things is I saw a post the other day, and it was a man holding a sign saying, like, rappers do not speak for Black America, right? Because I guess they want to allude to all the, rappers and musicians and things like that are, I guess technically right now going to the White House and having conversations and everything like that. And so we're saying, if they don't speak for us, what X, Y, and Z? Well, I mean, let's go back to this verse right here. It says, choose your tribes wisely, X, Y, and Z, and all of that. And it tells about like, the human men that we choose in positions X, Y, and Z. At the end of the day, like, if you want to say that these men don't speak for you now, right? Okay. And I get that, right? But at the same time, too, let's think about every day. Let's think about over the past few years. Who and what has been the voice of the quote-unquote African American people here in America? Like, what are we known for? And who was known? I guess I say all that to say, friends, like, if you don't want the rapper speaking for you now, then why are you allowing them to speak for you throughout life? Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want to say, oh, they're not in a leadership position, why are they speaking on our behalf? I mean, their music is telling people who we are every day. And you mad because they speaking on your behalf now? Like, actually, the people that are actually going and having some conversations, at least they're not being, because, see, that's the thing. Peep that, too. See who's actually going and actually having some conversations to help you as a community, and not just themselves. Who's doing that? Because there's plenty of rappers that we all have supported over the years, right? That have going around the world speaking on behalf of African American people or Black people, however you want to call it. And, you wouldn't have no problem with that. That's the international view of a Black person in America. Rappers and musicians. And now all of a sudden they don't speak for you. They've been speaking for you. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Now I know there's other people in leadership positions too. I'm not saying that, that the politicians and stuff like that are African American or whatever case aren't speaking for Black people. But what I'm saying is the majority of the communication about Black people and about African Americans or whatever you want to say has been the music industry, has been Hollywood, So what's different now? It's different because maybe some of them are meeting with candidates that you don't like. So now that's different. All I'm saying is they've been speaking for you, man. And if you ain't like that, man, then hey, Bible says choose your tribe wisely. Choose these leaders wisely. And obviously they've been leading our community for years now. So if that's brand new to you, that they're still leading in some aspect, just on a political side of things, then hey, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. But anywho, let's get back to the Bible, y'all. Y'all mad at me. They're like, why did you come back? Check this out, y'all. Daniel 2:21. Like, if this brings any peace to you, here's some information for you, friends. Daniel 2:21 says, he changes times and seasons. He removes kings and sets up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. So at the end of the day, regardless of who we choose to be our leaders or our mouthpieces, who we choose to be in government positions and everything like that, God is in control. And here's a word for all of us this morning. Maybe this is directly from God to you or through me. I don't know. But it's Titus 3:1, and it says, remind them to be submissive to rulers and authorities, to be obedient, to be ready for every good work. So, friends, hey, there you go. Let me give you guys the Bible verse of the day, because that pretty much goes hand in hand with all of this right here. It is Romans 12:2, and it says, and do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what it is that good. I'm pretty sure that what is good. I probably wrote it down wrong, y'all, but y'all can read it for yourself, right? Yeah. But is good and acceptable and perfect with God. Y'all, sorry, my chicken scratching something y'all here. For those of you guys that are watching on Facebook and YouTube. So yeah, apologize for that as always. I just need to write in print, but when I'm in the moment, I'm just trying to write it down. But anyway, there you go, friends. Hope that helps you out this morning. I hope that's something to marinate as we approach election day, which is tomorrow. Again, I hope that you guys are praying and maybe even fasting and praying over who you gonna vote for, because this is a freedom that we have and everything like that. But regardless of who you feel should be doing what, at the end of the day, God is in control. And so who he wants to do it, will be doing it. And that's just where it is. So, friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. If you like what you hear, then consider supporting our podcast. Every listener that supports us for $9.99 a month will be entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win a free gift. So become a supporter today.